And good evening. It's great to have you with us on another busy Saturday. I'm Wade Johnson. We begin tonight with the new dire warning from Vladimir Putin. The Russian leader saying sanctions from the U.S. and its allies are akin to a declaration of war. Hopes of a limited ceasefire shattered almost immediately today. Russian forces resuming offensive operations in Mariupol shortly after brokering what was supposed to be a 5-hour ceasefire to evacuate civilians. That city under attack for days. Today, Ukraine's President Zelenskyy appealing directly to American lawmakers for help, pleading for more weapons and the establishment of a no-fly zone. But the U.S. and NATO not ready to go that far. U.S. officials warning indiscriminate bombings by Russia will increase. These images from outside Kyiv, at least 20 homes destroyed. A large crowd sheltering under a damaged bridge near the capital as they try to flee across a river. But Ukrainians also remain defiant. Thousands protesting today in the center of Kherson, a city seized by Russian forces. Tonight, there is more pressure on Russia. Late word that Visa and MasterCard are suspending all operations there. And the State Department warning all Americans to leave Russia as soon as they can. We have team coverage on the ground tonight, and ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman leads us off from Lviv.
Tonight, as Russian munitions continue to light up Ukrainian skylines, this fireball exploding over Chernihiv, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy asking the West for more firepower. Zelenskyy holding an hour-long video call with more than 300 members of Congress and Hill staff saying he needs more help to fend off Vladimir Putin's invaders, pleading for more lethal and military aid and the establishment of a no-fly zone over his country. What's at stake is summed up in this new video from inside a control room of the biggest nuclear power plant in Europe as it was being attacked by Russian forces. In the video released by the energy company, you can hear that voice on the PA system begging Russian troops to immediately stop firing. You are endangering the safety of the entire world. And there are increasing reports of Russian airstrikes bombarding civilian areas. Close to 20 homes damaged after what's believed to be a missile strike rocked this neighborhood, leaving a smoldering crater. In the port city of Kherson, taken over by Russian forces, loyal Ukrainians gathering in the streets, shouting, "Kherson is Ukraine." Reports of Russian soldiers firing into the crowd. A 5-hour ceasefire to evacuate civilians from 2 other besieged cities in the south, broken, the Ukrainians say, by Russian shelling.
Ceasefire took place only for 30 minutes. After that, Russian troops, army start continuous shelling of Mariupol. They use everything they have, air bombing, a rocket.
If the Russians take the strategic port city of Mariupol, Putin's forces could build a land bridge to Crimea and cut off Ukraine from the Black Sea and Azov Sea. The residents there have witnessed the worst of Russia's fury, smoke lingering in the air from days of attacks. This grocery store destroyed, dozens lining up for food. These young parents facing the unthinkable horror, their 18-month-old son among the dead. This medical worker devastated. They weren't able to save him. It's a portrait of the human cost of Putin's war. Today, the Russian president speaking at a bizarre meeting with female airline employees, warning that any country attempting to restrict airspace would immediately be party to the military conflict in Ukraine, calling Western sanctions a declaration of war. A senior U.S. official telling ABC News they have no doubt Putin's indiscriminate bombings in Ukraine will increase. And tonight, a nation on the move, hundreds crowding under this destroyed bridge on the outskirts of Kyiv, soldiers carrying young children over a makeshift crossing, these 2 women holding hands as they leave their homes behind. And those who remain are forced to fend for themselves, lining up for gun permits, training on scarce AK-47s, and building out roadblocks.
Over the past several days, this army of volunteers has been building this massive checkpoint complex. There are dozens of them across the country. This is the resistance, and they've fortified checkpoints like these with concertina wire, with those steel barricades, and on the ground there, old Soviet mines.
And outside the Lviv train station, packed so densely they could barely climb the stairs.
Me? Okay.
This elderly woman being evacuated to Poland asked me to come over.
To close the sky over Ukraine.
She's saying she wants a no-fly zone over Ukraine.
It was too much for her, but her grandson had to stay and wanted to talk to us.
And could you go back to your house to try to get what you need?
My house is now destroyed. We don't have anything, and we must start a new life.
The human toll just staggering. Matt Gutman joining us again tonight from Lviv. Matt, despite those pleas from Ukraine's president, the U.S. and its allies are standing firm against the no-fly zone, worried about a direct conflict with Russia.
And the battle lines are now clearly drawn, Whit. Vladimir Putin has been unequivocal that a no-fly zone would be a declaration of war against Russia. And in effect, enforcing that no-fly zone would likely pit U.S. and NATO fighter jets against Russian fighter jets over the skies of Ukraine. So it's not likely that it is going to happen. U.S. officials are telling us, however, that the speed, the scale, the quality of U.S. military aid to Ukraine has been, quote, unprecedented. And they say it's only going to increase.